Midewin National Tallgrass Prairie. There are places where history lingers in the wind, where the land remembers what it once was and what it could be again. Midewin National Tallgrass Prairie is one of those places. Once home to wetlands, oak savannas, and vast seas of tallgrass, these 20 acres in northern Illinois were forever changed when the Joliet Army ammunition plant rose here during World War II. For decades, this land produced explosives, supplying a nation at war. But when the last assembly lines fell silent, the question remained, what should become of this place? The answer was radical and hopeful. In 1996, Congress created Midewin through the Illinois Land Conservation Act, transferring former arsenal lands to the U.S. Forest Service, with one bold mission: restore the tallgrass prairie, a Prarie reborn. At nearly 20 acres, Midewin is the largest protected area in the Chicago Wilderness region, and the first national tallgrass prairie in the United States. Its name, Midewin, a Potawatomi word meaning healing, carries the essence of its purpose: to heal the land, to heal history, and to heal the connection between people and nature. Restoring a tallgrass prairie is no simple task. When European settlers arrived, tallgrass prairie stretched across 170 million acres of North America. Today, less than 1% of that ecosystem remains intact. Midewin is one of the last and largest opportunities to bring a living prairie back to life at this scale. The process is patient and methodical, 100 years in the making. Thousands of acres of concrete bunkers must be cleared, invasive species removed, hydrology restored, and native seed collected and replanted. Each acre reborn is a victory, but the work is far from over. The goals of restoration, Midewin's mission is as ambitious as it is urgent. The U.S. Forest Service and its partners aim to restore native grasslands, wildflowers, rebuild tallgrass prairie communities filled with big bluestem, Indian grass, prairie dropseed, and switchgrass, along with hundreds of rare and native wildflowers. Reestablish wetlands, savannas, heal waterways, and recreate wet prairies, sedge meadows, and oak savannas where amphibians, insects, and birds once thrived. Bring back lost wildlife. Provide critical habitat for species of concern like Henslow's sparrows, bobolinks, short-eared owls, and rare pollinators. In 2015, Midewin reintroduced American bison, restoring an ecological role absent for nearly 200 years. Protect cultural history. Preserve the memory of the Joliet Arsenal, indigenous histories, and the families who worked this land for generations. Connect people to the prairie. Build over 34 miles of trails for hiking, biking, and horseback riding, while offering education programs, tours, and opportunities for thousands of volunteers to participate directly in restoring the land. The native prairie species. Bringing back a functioning tallgrass prairie means bringing back the plants that built it. Midewin's greenhouses and volunteers collect and grow seeds from over 250 native species. Some of the most significant plants include Prarie grass, big bluestem, Andropogon girardi, the king of the prairie, growing up to 8 feet tall, Indian grass, Sorghestrum nutans, golden-tipped plumes that sway like fire in the wind, switchgrass, Panicum virgatum, a foundational species providing food and shelter for wildlife. Prairie dropseed, Sporobolus heterolepis, a fragrant grass-forming elegant, fine-leafed clumps, wildflowers, forbs, purple coneflower, Echinacea purpurea, a pollinator favorite, compass plant, Silphium laciniatum, towering blooms that orient toward the sun, prairie dock, Silphium terebinthinaceum, with leaves like dinner plates and yellow blossoms, beloved by bees. Shooting star, Docathion meadia, a delicate spring ephemeral, prairie smoke, Geum triflorum, wisps of pink seed heads that dance across open fields, restoring wetlands. Marsh blazing star, Liatris spicata, blue flag iris, Iris versicolor, sedges and rushes vital for stabilizing wet soils and feeding migratory birds. Each species is a thread, and together they weave the tapestry of a restored ecosystem. Bison and the ecological engineers. In 2015, 27 American bison returned to Midewin after nearly 2 centuries of absence. Their role goes beyond symbolism. Bison grazing patterns naturally shape prairie diversity by keeping aggressive grasses in check, creating open patches where wildflowers flourish. Today, the herd has grown, and researchers study how these ancient grazers interact with the land, birds, and pollinators, proving that restoring prairie means restoring balance.